Earlier this week, he, quote, can't guarantee that anybody in the world will be alive on Sunday. Interesting. When he was asked if Jimmy Garoppolo will be on the roster after the draft. Now, according to a report, multiple teams are expected to call the 49ers today about Jimmy G, but the chances of a trade are remote. So, Acho, should Jimmy G still be in the 49ers' plans after this weekend, if he's alive?
Well, if we can assume that he, along with all of us, hopefully are alive. No, he shouldn't be in their plans because as it stands right now, we all know this, Jimmy G is trade bait. The 49ers allegedly tried to inquire about Aaron Rodgers. They traded up to try to get Mac Jones or Justin Fields or Trey Lance. So we know Jimmy G is trade bait, but trade bait is only valuable if it's present. Trade bait can't be valuable if the trade bait is injured or not present. So if Jimmy G is trade bait, and we know that Jimmy G can only be traded if he is healthy, then why would you risk him getting injured over the course of the season, over the course of OTAs, over the course of preseason, whatever the regular season looks like and however it unfolds? Why would you risk that? Jimmy G gets hurt 44% of the time. You like to flip coins, you've done it all show. If you were to flip a coin, there's a 50% chance roughly, or at least 45, 55, 44, 56, that Jimmy G gets hurt. Which means that out of every 2 games you play for the 49ers, out of every 2 games the 49ers play, one of them he's likely to get hurt. So you can play 2 games this season with Jimmy G, but if he gets hurt in that second game, you can't trade him. So if your objective is to trade Jimmy G anyway, which we all know the 49ers' objective is to trade the man Jimmy G, then you might as well trade him while he has value, because he has no value if he is injured. Trade him right now. He's healthy. Everybody knows at least he will be healthy. He's only 29 years of age, turns 30 in November. You can get something for him. Don't try to hold on to him just to be a $25 million mentor and run the risk of him getting hurt.
Okay, I'm just going to go off script with this one right here. You ever seen Set It Off?
I have. That one I have.
You all happy.
I have.
Okay, you remember how Latifah went out? She just hit that cigarette one last time. She was like, this is my last shot for Jimmy G before the draft.
How she went out, though?
She died.
That's how you
I'm about to die, too. I know. I ain't Kyle Shanahan. He gonna kill me. He gonna trade Jimmy G to his own demise, but he gonna do it. This is my last blast, and I just feel like it. I don't want to do it, but this is my last-ditch effort to save Jimmy G. There's a paved road to success, and Jimmy G paved that road. He said, hey, Cal, if you want to ride on this road, it's going to lead you to the Super Bowl, because the only time I'm healthy is the only time you made it to the Super Bowl. Every other season, no playoff wins. Every other season, losing record. And then every other season, worse at bottom 10 in terms of points per game. But you don't like the paved road. You look like a guy who works out once or twice or 3 times every day. You look like a guy who goes to Runyon Canyon and acts like he's working out, but he really looking through his sunglasses and say, hey, girl, I know how you are. And when I go to Runyon Canyon, I see those bored hikers as well, like you, Acho. They don't like the paved road. They be up in the bushes where the snakes are, the thorn bushes. They like to go draft the unknowns and see if they can stay and be durable. I'm going to ask you about best quarterbacks in the league today. Tom Brady. You ever miss time?
Yes, sir, 1 season.
Yeah.
Out of 20.
Excuse me. Injury, huh? Deshaun Watson, ever miss time?
Yes, sir.
Dak Prescott, anytime. Patrick Mahomes, ever miss some time?
4 games.
I mean, God dang, everybody getting hurt in the NFL. And now we gonna just hang them. Take him to the middle of the town hall. Jimmy G has to go when everybody else that's doing something worth a damn gets injured as well. It's just a weak scapegoat excuse. That was my last Latifah shot. If that doesn't work, then let's just set it off. Coming up, we have much more on the breaking news that Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. That's next on Speak for Yourself.
Filled with reports of frustration and trade speculation, all centered around Russell Wilson. But head coach Pete Carroll addressed the media yesterday and squashed any thought of his quarterback leaving the Seahawks. Y'all take a listen.
Russ has been our quarterback for a good while, and we've got a long contract with him. And when all of the conversation went about trades and all that, I knew what the truth was. We weren't trading Russell. But we're in great shape, and a long future ahead of us is shared. Russ knows that, and I know that, and we're very clear about it. It's why it was really obvious that we just had to sit back and let the media take its course with the topic, and so we did. And so we're in good shape, and both very clear about that.
So, Sal, should Russell Wilson trust the Seahawks?
Absolutely, you should trust him. This riff, this commotion, us in the media, all of this attention all started because Russell Wilson lit a match. And now he had to put the fire out, talking to Pete Carroll directly, as he should have in the first place. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar complaining, exaggerating the situation in Seattle. I remind people he set career highs in completion percentage, passing touchdowns, total yards, and total touchdowns last year. And Russell Wilson had some problems. Led the Seahawks to the most points in franchise history last year. And he had all these issues. So Russell Wilson just had to have a come to Russell moment where he realized, and I think Pete Carroll in his wisdom, being an older gentleman, older experienced coach, had to say, hey, Russ, the world isn't mad at you, Russell Wilson. You're not that special. And it's funny when people hear that, and if you've never heard that, you need to hear that. This world ain't caving in on you. This world don't give a damn about you. This world will continue to spin no matter what goes well in your life and what goes bad in your life. This world's like, whatever. And sometimes you have to understand that because Russell Wilson got a little too high on his horse. He got a little too drunk on his greatness. And then Pete Carroll had to tell him it's about the collective. We're all replaceable. The only conversation after you're replaced is who's replacing you? Are they better than you? Or they're worse than you? So Russell Wilson had to know that he fits in as an important, the most important piece to the Seattle Seahawks puzzle. But trust me, they will construct this puzzle with or without you. The NFL will continue with or without you. So this organization had to come to Jesus moment, and Russell Wilson had to come to Russell moment. And I'm glad they did, because when all things settled, they realized how good they really have it.
I co-sign where you're at on this one. But I don't think Russ should trust the Seahawks. I have the same logic as you, but I land at a different place. He shouldn't trust the Seahawks because greater quarterbacks have been greater more recently and still been betrayed.
Talk to me.
Meaning, Carson Wentz leads his team very highly. They go to a Super Bowl with Nick Foles as a starter. Carson Wentz has an 11-win season. That's more recent success at a greater capacity than Russell Wilson. Carson Wentz, get up out of there. Jared Goff, we can at least dispute that one. He leads his team to the Super Bowl 2018. More success than Russell Wilson has had in the last recent future. And Sean McVay is like Jared Goff. You got to get up out of here. We've seen greater quarterbacks have greater success more recently than Russell Wilson. Not overall greater quarterbacks, but they've just had greater success more recently than Russell Wilson and still be betrayed. But more than anything, Pete Carroll in a power position, Russ, and you pushed him to this point. Like, you got too cocky. You started feeling yourself too much. You pushed Pete Carroll to the point of like, you know what, big dog? I really don't need you because I won a Super Bowl with that Russell Wilson. I didn't win a Super Bowl with this Russell Wilson. So I don't need this Russell Wilson. I just need that Russell Wilson. And that Russell Wilson, 2013 and 2014 Russell Wilson, he's not that hard to find. Because that Russell Wilson had 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. This Russell Wilson might have 40 touchdowns, but it comes with a 40-touchdown ego, and I don't need all of that. But we got some breaking news. What?